It is April 3rd, and just wanted to share some of my thoughts and kind of things that have been going on. I had last Friday ended up stepping down from my BNI networking group, and wasn't there last week. Wasn't feeling good Thursday morning. Ended up not going in, and there's a member of the group that sent some letters out. He's the narcissist of the group, just so you know. And some members ended up quitting, and I felt incredibly disrespected because as president I should know everything that's kind of going on with the group, and so to send these letters out without me knowing ahead of time was not right. And then also the wording and verbiage that he used, and we had a member who had found out the day before that her mother has terminal cancer and is going to die, and then he sends this letter out the next day, and that's not. And the thing is that when I brought it to his attention that it was wrong, he didn't understand why it was wrong or how it was wrong. It's just, well, they haven't been there, they deserve these. And it was like, her mom, she just found out her mom is going to die, and you don't send a letter like that out. And I couldn't get him to understand what was wrong with that at all. He probably still doesn't. And I am so upset with how it was handled. And there was another email sent out to somebody who wasn't there that day but sent a sub and was finding out if he had bone cancer, and he sent this letter out to him then to another member too. And it was just, you know what, I stepped down from the group because I'm sick and tired of fighting these narcissists, and it takes too much of my energy. I'm done. And the only thing I can control is me. I don't want to put them in the middle of them being the members of the group in the middle of having to pick between me and somebody else. Just done. Stepping down. My silence will be a statement, and I know my value. I know that my head is on straight, and I will not affiliate with something that is not an organization, a networking group, people who cannot understand what compassion and empathy are. Because if they don't, I can't teach it, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. So there's another group. There's always another group. There's always another networking group. So there's another group I'm going to go join tomorrow. But that was a pretty big shocker last week. Sent out that email and just really haven't talked to... there's a lot of members of the group that are great, but I've been like fighting this guy ever since I got in the group not to be an asshole. And now, you know what, just let him be an asshole and see where that gets him. Let him see how that works for membership retention. And it's not my issue anymore. I'm done. I'm sick of using my energy on stupid stuff. This weekend, I went and took a self-defense class on Saturday, and on Sunday, when I got my concealed license, I took a class for concealed license permit, so I'll go and apply for my concealed license. And that should be a good thing. I'm wondering if I should wait till after the charges are dropped to go and get my concealed license, because I think they do that background check on you, and we'll see what that's all about. And the self-defense class was pretty empowering because it just taught me just some really simple, like 4 or 5 simple, easy moves to get out of a situation if I needed. And that's a good thing. So continuing, showing up, networking, got a few leads coming in, conversations happening. Had somebody that I was supposed to have listed call me because I listed with somebody else and turned around and bought with somebody else, and that person's not calling them back, and now they want my expertise to help them. And of course I did, because it's the right thing to do, and not easy. It's not easy to do because it pisses me off they didn't come to me, but now they're in the middle of being beat up, and I know their mom, so anyway, help them, just give them some advice. I'll follow up with them and see how they're doing sometime today, but today is Makeup Monday, and it's really early. I had to get up because I had to go and get a contract signed before a doctor gets into his busy day. So, whew, that's been interesting. So, haven't heard anything from the DA. Haven't heard anything from anybody. So it has officially been 1 week and a day since I went and had that psychosexual evaluation done. And we have 2 weeks until trial, which means today, is it today? Tomorrow. Would have to have a status conference, which we're not having because we're not going to trial. They're going to dismiss the charges. So now we just wait from this DA's DA. I just love dumbass. From this DA's, I'm just going to call people DAs from now on. History, he will end up doing it next week. So we'll see. And I've got these dreams or fantasies that, in the same time they drop the charges against me, they bring just a hellfire of drama down on him. And we'll see. It sure would be nice. Oh, I also have lunch with somebody who's got an FBI connection, and once he heard of my story and I told him a few more details, has some lunch on Saturday. His main focus is human sex trade trafficking. And when I told him a little bit about Anthony and just how he had cameras and how he has a stripper pole and how his son has people over partying, the son's 17 but says he's 23, I guess those are all kind of indicators for somebody who does sex trafficking for a living. And when you look at kind of Anthony's shady past, I hadn't thought of it, but I could absolutely see how it could be linked in there. And I think he sent an email off to one of his FBI friends to look into him. So we'll see what comes from all that. I guess, if you can't get the local police involved, getting the FBI involved, that would be appropriate, especially for this guy because he's a douche. So that is all I have to say. That's my update. I'll let you know if I hear more. Bye.